Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda, and this is Jar of Marble. And I'm Bob. I'm Bob. Thank you. Thank you very much for that, Bob. That's okay, really. It's okay.
Yeah, you have to do that, crickets. It's all right.
Good hello. I was going to say good morning, but I just don't know whether it is morning where you are. But today we're diving into a powerful topic that resonates with anyone striving for genuine connection and fulfillment. So I would like to talk a little bit about unfiltered living. So welcome everyone to the episode for Unfiltered Living, and glad you could make it.
I like filtered coffee myself.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I tried it in America once and I liked it a lot.
Jolly good, except we're talking about unfiltered living.
I knew that.
What does it mean to show up in our lives unfiltered and real?
Yeah, what does it mean?
How does legitimacy impact our personal lives, relationships and careers? How does genuinely liking ourselves have influence on our lives, and what does that look like? We really have to hold each other up because there are plenty ready to tear us down, aren't there? Let's get into it.
Okay, this will be good.
I hope so. What does it mean to be unfiltered? Being unfiltered is about stripping away the layers of pretense and embracing who we really are. And that is lovely. That's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. And that is you, wonderful you. And keeping our humour, keeping it light and easy. I remember hearing someone say many years ago that when we get too serious about things, it almost becomes, it's like a disorder.
We can fool ourselves the most though, can't we?
Oh yes, very much so.
But why?
Because we might not be ready to know more. We might not know there is more to have or be in life.
Maybe we feel stuck.
Oh, we could do, Bob. That's a very real thing too.
Maybe we feel we have to protect ourselves.
Ooh, yes, Bob. I remember many years ago.
Like last century?
No, Bob. Probably a few decades ago.
Well, yeah, back in the antique era.
Yeah, okay. Now and then I would meet people, whether it was someone's birthday party or at school. I was only a kid myself, maybe 9, 10, 11. Maybe we were on an excursion with other schools, and I would, on occasion, meet someone or a group who I irritated. I was a total goofball, thoroughly enjoying myself, loving life, loved making other people laugh, loved how they made me laugh, just having a bit of a blast, enjoying myself with my friends, and who also had a great sense of fun and were very playful. I was probably just a little bit outrageous, but anyway. But sometimes you would meet the personality. I guess by today's standards, haters.
Yeah, haters.
Yeah. People who just had to tell me that I was weird, that I was mad, that I was crazy, and then they would try to humiliate me. And thank Rod, it never bothered me. I don't know why it didn't. It just didn't. But I recall faces and their total disdain, their disapproval.
Oh, some people do have a stick right up their bum, don't they?
They do, Bob, they do. Point is, I was unfiltered and mostly still am. Obviously, we have to be discerning at points, but when I'm feeling free and kooky, I love that feeling of being daft and having a giggle.
What's the definition of a moment?
Well, it depends on what side of the toilet door you're standing.
You knew that joke.
Well, I did. It means letting go of the need to be perfect, likeable, or whatever else we think others expect from us.
Yeah, that's a big one.
How about this? You jump out of bed in an unfiltered kind of way. And if I'm in one of my moods, which is often...
So if you're in one of your moods, what does that mean?
Well, I'm feeling playful, a bit bloody cheeky and full of beans.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Yeah, you do, yeah.
It's not about acting without regard for others. It's about showing up as our true selves. And anyone who knows me knows that I've always been a bit playful, and that has made people laugh, and others who it just plain frustrates. For the ones who are also good fun, it's just so refreshing, I would say. There have been sorts that say that they don't like people who try too hard or think that they're being funny.
Lucky we don't give two shits about their opinion.
Pretty much. Wish them well. Don't forget your hat on your way out. But we don't worry too much about the sad sake. Sadly, some folk cannot be themselves. It may have been forbidden in their neck of the woods, but anywho.
Set on not having fun.
Well, sometimes it appears that way.
No can do. I get out of bed and I say very loudly, "Good morning, Australia." And I mean very loudly.
I know you do.
And I say, "Hey, I made it through another night." And I look in the mirror and I say, "Good morning, my dear. You woke up looking like that."
Oh, dear. Well, I like to strut around and be a bit bold on the oddest occasion. I have a decent length of the house that leads to the kitchen. so I can strut my way on down towards my coffee machine when in the mood. Bravo, marble dwellers, I say. Bravo.
Yeah, that's right. Have a bit of attitude.
That's right, Bob. Yeah, I definitely advocate to having a bit of
You were going to say avocado.
well, actually, I was a bit of attitude. It's not only very helpful to yourself, but in my case, and I can really only speak to what I do, and that is being unfiltered with feeling pleased to be alive and what does the day hold. So, yeah, be gorgeous and inspiring. And again, isn't it fun to be around a fun person?
Oh, yeah. Of course it's fun to be around a fun person,
Someone who is fabulous to be around.
Nice.
But fun people can be left behind.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, if a fun person has some real issues, tragedy hits their family, they can be left isolated, and this is another opportunity to see who's who in your life.
Yeah, but that would happen to people that aren't fun as well.
Absolutely, Bob, but seeing as we were talking about that,
Yeah.
So fortunately, depends on how you think on it, my life, like so many of us, most of us, have had real tragedy piled on top of more tragedy. I've often thought if I signed up for this, then I am trying to dissolve a hell of a lot of karma, plus learn many lessons consciously while...
Yeah, you've lost me.
Quite right, Bob. It's quite stunning how many times I've been told in my own life how strong I am, which has equated to little to no contact communication from the same people who labelled me as strong. They avoided me like the plague. I was in fact doing remarkably well, but people insert themselves into their perceived notion of what's going on and run.
Run?
Yeah, they want no part of it, and I get it. They do not know what to do or what to say, so they ignore you completely.
Probably not the answer.
That can happen when, say, someone dies. People stay away thinking they're doing the right thing, but usually they're actually hurting people by staying away.
Sounds tricky.
Or actually, maybe it is, because as much as it can hurt at the time, it is revealing and presents itself as an opportunity to see who's who, your friends, supporters, just to see who they actually are. You can't have people that are only on board just for the good times. No, probably not a good thing. But you can, but no, you're in fake company.
Not exactly unfiltered, I'd say. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time with a pinch of salt.
When we're unfiltered, we naturally align our actions with our values and passions. This can be challenging in our fun world because society often rewards a polished version of ourselves. But being unfiltered doesn't mean we're reckless or rude. It means we're real. Oh, yeah.
A polished version of ourselves. I can't decide which pants to put on today, smarty or fancy.
Definitely smarty.
How does authenticity play out in daily life?
Being authentic or unfiltered, Bob, isn't a switch we flip. No, it's a choice we make daily. 1% better every day with minimal effort. Imagine the little decisions we make each day, how we react to situations, the conversations we choose to engage in, or the boundaries we set.
That's that discipline thing, isn't it?
It is. Once put into practice, you're on a very different trajectory. The little decisions we make daily play a crucial role in shaping our personal development.
I know I'm getting old because nothing irritates me like unnecessary noise.
Quite right, Bob. So when we realise we are going and growing through a growth spurt, and you know it is because life seems upside down, you feel unhappy-ish, right there are some of the signs that it is growth time, that the universe does indeed insist that you grow.
Get unfiltered?
Precisely, Bob. I do love me the continuation of my own personal growth.
You know, I couldn't sleep last night because I kept on thinking how long it must take for a giraffe to throw up.
Well, Bob, got no words for that one.
Yeah.
Now, while grand milestones often get the spotlight, it's the small, intentional choices that we make consistently that add up to meaningful growth over time.
Oh, heck yes.
One of the areas where these decisions can have a significant impact is in how we engage with others, especially in our conversations.
I just quit my job at the helium factory. I won't be spoken to in that tone.
The tone of our conversations often sets the tone for our relationships and personal mindset.
You know, I was checking my laughter lines in the mirror. I was thinking to myself, what the hell was that funny? Yeah, I don't know. Nothing that was that funny. Leave those kind of lines.
When we approach dialogue with a sense of curiosity, we open ourselves up to new perspectives and new ideas. Instead of reacting immediately or jumping to conclusions, we can choose to ask thoughtful questions.
Or just listen.
Yeah, most definitely. That was a big one for me due to experiences in another life. I was very jumpy with particular people. I was reactionary.
Jumpy?
Yeah, I was on red hot alert. After years of high stress and some concerning situations, I was always ready to pounce. Subconsciously looking back, I felt like I was under attack. Even when I wasn't, my whole body was just feeling like I was under attack. And it felt like that anyway. So I was ready to fight if someone, usually a partner, started revving me up or being disrespectful. I would react. I would get really upset. And eventually I came to the conclusion that I was really just hurting myself. The energy it took to stick up for myself, defend myself, and the ever-hanging feeling of being misunderstood on purpose, prod at and abused, name-calling, and their aim was to hurt me, not to listen or help me out or try to understand my feelings at all.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, it was, Bob. So I would come out of my corner fighting. I knew I was not going to get a caring, kind ear, sympathy, empathy, and not even like a drizzle of friendship. I had no idea what I was doing. I was so lost in abuse, and I'd been looking out for myself for such a long time, and I realised I had no skills to deal with, particularly with a covert narcissist. Those words weren't a part of the collective lexicon at the time, so I had to learn.
Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is take a break and rest.
True, Bob. I didn't know then what I know now.
That's why you share it, don't you?
Well, yeah, I hope it helps, that's all. All I knew was I was angry and I wasn't getting the opportunity to be myself, to even be some kind of, cool chick. I felt like I was being robbed of my identity and I could feel my life force literally being sucked out of me. I knew I had to educate myself.
You had to go for it.
Yeah, I did. That even if I go for it and it doesn't work out the first time, that I would just keep trying to find information that would be easily applied to my life.
You had the guts to head into the unknown.
Well, I believe that this type of bravery is one that takes you places. It rewrites your life, and I believe it has done that and more to mine.
Oh, yeah. You're living proof.
Thanks, Bob. Hey,
what do you call a dinosaur with one eye? Do you think he saw us?
So I found as much information I could about anger, codependency, and self-respect. I knew I had to start thinking about my life in a different way and give myself a break, to learn not to bite. This had given my ex-partner great satisfaction, to have me pleading for him to just listen to me, to stop talking over me, to try to understand what I was saying. I could feel my heart racing and my voice was breaking, and I think I just ruined my singing voice in spots from all the fights. Don't know, but anyway, I never really realised that, but it's true, I think. The fighting had injured me physically as well.
What did the right eye say to the left eye? Honestly, between you and me, something smells. Yeah.
So the day came and I started from the ground up. Looking back, I was a shadow of the person I was. So I had to practice. I had to get disciplined about my own well-being. All of this and more before the wellness industry was even a thing.
Yeah, you go, you.
When we practice responding thoughtfully instead of reacting instinctively, we build emotional strength.
That we do.
Not everything we hear requires a response at all. You may have noticed people aren't actually listening.
Oh, how true.
And some are obviously not interested in what you're saying. You can tell they're saying yes, yes, and nodding, and you're nowhere near finishing your sentences.
Get rid of them.
Well, sometimes it is well worth asking the person to repeat what you've just said. Obviously, it depends on who the person is. I have interrupted someone and said, "Be back in a minute," and I've just left.
You haven't. Actually, you have, haven't you?
Yep, and no regrets. I've done it on the phone too, where someone's been just so rude or a scam caller and assuming that I'm just going to listen to their patter. And again, I say, hold on a minute. I let them stop talking and then I end the call. Bloody marvellous. And again,
No regrets?
none.
How very unfiltered of you.
Totally. And thanks, Bob.
Yeah, that's all right.
I've realised that I'm talking to someone, a partner, and they're not listening at all. There's a silence in the room. I've been talking for ages and I've asked a question and then there's this long silence and they're not listening, not participating in our relationship in a meaningful way. I have stood there and just looked at them and slowly walked out of the room, and not once did they say, hey, I'm thinking, don't go. I want to talk to you. They can see you're distressed by their ignorance and their inability to join you in your sorrow. So they just ignore you completely to your face, and something in you dies. If it's been going on for a long time, it just dies for all time.
Why is it hard for a communist to tell a joke? It's not funny until everyone gets it.
So something that you ever felt for them is dead. It's a big fat zero. You have the capabilities, you have the heart. They are the ones that do not. I think that it is an important point. You get to be you. You're the one with spirit and joy. Don't give that away ever. Hashtag unfiltered living.
Hey, why don't we see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it. Hey, why does a chicken coop only have 2 doors? Because if it had 4, it'd be a chicken sedan. Sedan, yeah.
Over time, these conscious choices help us become better communicators and more aware of our own emotional landscape. We're not so fast to give our bloody all, let people prove themselves, and then again and again.
And again?
Absolutely. Once you've been eaten alive and spat out a few times, you really do have to prove to yourself, not anyone else, that you have learnt and learnt well.
Oh, yes, I like that. Our own emotional landscape. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that is reliant on your approval, not anyone else's. Now let's talk about friendships and relationships. Showing up unfiltered, completely ourselves, invites deeper connection. And that on the face of it is lovely. It's about letting our guard down, sharing our feelings openly, and not hiding parts of ourselves for fear of judgment. So it creates a nice space where others feel that they can be real too. Again, great if you have that in the friendship stakes, but I am of the mind that I have learnt my lessons.
Did you know that if you put your ear up to a stranger's leg, you can hear them say, "What the hell are you doing?"
Fascinating, Bob.
Yeah, I know.
While it might seem like the big moments of decision-making are the ones that determine our growth, it's the small daily choices that truly shape who we are becoming.
Oh, so absolutely true.
That's right, Bob. From how we engage in conversations to the decisions we make about listening, reflecting, and acting on what we learn, these daily moments build the foundation of personal development. Mindfulness in our conversations and interactions isn't just about being present in the moment. It is also about using each interaction as an opportunity to grow, to connect, and to improve the way we communicate with ourselves and others.
Yeah, that's right.
So you've got to be wide awake to do this.
No more floating through.
Yeah.
Hey, what's orange and sounds like a parrot? A carrot.
Now, with our personal growth, living unfiltered also brings clarity about who we are.
Yeah, who are we?
We start to feel more connected to ourselves because we're not spending energy hiding, masking, or altering our behaviour to fit in. We become stronger. For personal growth, if we are dedicated to that, there are things that we have to look at if we expect to change and grow. Then a few things may have to go.
Like what?
Are you binge watching TV?
Yeah.
Are you making excuses, hiding from life so you don't have to face anything?
Well, sometimes.
Do you need to give something up in order to be better? Do you need to cancel memberships that you don't use? When you're being your true self, the pressure lifts. The layers of shoulds and coulds drop away,
Shoulda, coulda.
revealing a raw but simple truth. There is only what feels real,
Paradoxically, infinitely.
more energizing.
I'm finding those words energizing.
Well, there you go, Bob. That authenticity invites a stillness, a groundedness that is paradoxically, infinitely more energizing than any external motivation or validation. It's as if your soul no longer has to exert itself to keep up with the shifting demands of the world.
Hey, what's Forrest Gump's email password? 1Forrest1. Hey, 1Forrest1. Yeah, love it.
It simply exists in its own rhythm, and that rhythm, untouched by the noise outside, becomes the source of boundless renewal.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, why do cow milking stools only have 3 legs? Because the cow has the udder. Yeah.
So let's have a look at the power of being unfiltered at work, about authenticity in the workplace.
Geez, is that even possible?
Well, professional settings are where many people struggle with being themselves.
Oh, okay, totally understandable then. You're right.
You can let that one pass?
Yeah, I'll let that one pass.
Good on you, Bob. We worry about being judged, criticised, or even seen as less competent. But when we embrace authenticity in our work, amazing things can happen. This lack of exhaustion isn't about a constant surge of adrenaline or forced vitality. It's more like a deep, calming presence that fills the spaces between your breaths. Without the mental gymnastics of performing for others, you conserve your energy in ways that are invisible but transformative.
Oh, yeah, I like that. That's very smart. Very, very smart.
Every decision becomes lighter because you're no longer navigating through a maze of what you should be, only what you are.
Oh, yeah, I get it. It's that mindset change, isn't it?
Yeah, it will appear as invisible, but as I was saying, transformative.
I was up super early this morning and I started wondering what time the sun would rise. Then it dawned on me. Get it? It dawned on me.
When we bring our real selves to work, we create an environment where others feel they can too. This leads to better teamwork, innovation, and trust. When colleagues feel safe to express ideas, ask questions, and admit mistakes, the whole team benefits.
Meanwhile, back in reality isn't like that in so many work environments.
Yeah, I know. If the managers or decision makers are ding-dongs, it most definitely filters down, and that can be very unpleasant.
I can feel it, but...
Well, a number of things can be implemented, change the job. For many, this is totally inconceivable. Many of us have motivations that keep them in bad jobs. We change your attitude, do the job, but keep your thoughts to yourself. If it's not respected or valued, then just do your job if you're going to stay on.
Yeah, keep your thoughts to yourself.
Yeah, but in other work environments, thankfully, it is not that extreme. It is the finding your culture within your industry, and it can be so very rewarding. Now, because of long-term masking, our true selves is exhausting.
I'm reading a book right now about anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down.
The need to play a role at work adds mental and emotional strain, often leading to burnout. And when dealing with unfair people, it's essential to have a strategy in place to protect yourself and navigate the situation effectively. Whether in personal relationships, the workplace, or other environments, unfair behaviour can range from subtle manipulation to overt mistreatment.
I was thinking, do Transformers get car or life insurance?
Quite the thought there, Bob.
Yeah, I know.
So here are some key steps to help you handle such situations with confidence and clarity. Recognise unfairness early. Unfair treatment may not always be obvious at first, but with awareness, you can spot the signs early. This could be manipulation, favouritism, dishonesty, or outright disrespect.
My therapist says I have a preoccupation with vengeance. We'll see about that. Yeah.
Set boundaries. Once you recognise that you're dealing with unfairness, it's important to set clear boundaries. Be firm, but respect when explaining your needs and limits. People often are simply seeing how far they can go.
Losers. Hey, knowledge is knowing a tomato is fruit. Wisdom is not putting it in your fruit salad.
So you have to take the time and make the energy to gather information. #unfiltered living. Being informed is one of your best defenses. Having concrete evidence allows you to act logically, whether it's in a professional setting or a personal relationship. You must have a decent sense of your value in order to cut through the BS and deal quickly with nonsense. The things are not looking good, and I mean good. You need to look at developing a plan for escaping the situation.
I once dated a magazine collector. She had issues.
Thanks, Bob.
That's all right.
In situations where the unfair behaviour persists or escalates, having an exit plan is crucial. And if it's in the workplace, look into other job opportunities, whether it's transferring departments or even just finding a new employer. In personal relationships, consider distancing yourself from toxic individuals or preparing to break off the relationship if necessary.
Full disclosure, living rent-free in my head is not exactly the real estate windfall it's been made out to be. This neighbourhood has a ton of issues.
In other environments, friendships, sports, neighbours, whatever it is, identify what steps will allow you to leave the situation safely, whether it's physically, emotionally or mentally. The challenge could be to stay calm and detached.
Never dated a tennis player.
Why, Bob?
Love means nothing to them.
When faced with unfairness, it's easy to react emotionally.
Of course it is, but
Yes, thinking on both feet. However, keeping your emotions in check helps you maintain control of the situation. Stay calm, think through your options and act with strategy.
oh yeah, I like a bit of strategy. Yeah, strategy.
Me too, Bob. If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't hesitate to seek support from trusted friends, family or professionals. You've got to know when to walk away. In some cases, no matter how informed or prepared you are, the best choice may be just walk away.
Oh yeah, so true. Sometimes a day comes and it is today that change has to be implemented, no matter how small that change.
Absolutely, Bob. If the unfair treatment is severe or shows no signs of improvement, it may be in your best interest to remove yourself from the situation altogether.
Sometimes I wonder what happened to the people that asked me for directions.
God, me too, Bob. Now, you all know I'm all about self-care. That does not include going out and getting smashed to help you through. I'm talking about real self-dignity. Being involved with unfair people can take a toll on your mental and emotional health. So the last thing you need to do is be killing your liver and your brain because of some doofus.
Tell us what you really mean.
Make sure to engage in activities that recharge you and help you regain your sense of balance and regular self-care. I'm always going to say this, is essential when you're managing difficult people or situations.
A shark swims faster than me and I'll probably run faster than the shark. So in a triathlon, it all depends on who's the better cyclist, I guess. Yeah. Good thought there.
Good on you, Bob.
Yeah.
Like if you're fortunate to have kids or have beautiful pets and you really enjoy them, you really get involved in the world, the payoff is enormous, isn't it? There's just nothing better than that. They are here now. Enjoy them. They are the absolute best, kids and or our pets.
Grab a face back, doll face.
Yeah, Bob.
Drink extra water.
Excellent.
Lose the subscriptions you've been meaning to cancel.
Even better.
Get to the doctor and do blood tests. Start fresh for you.
Yes, Bob. So, as we wrap up today's episode, remember being unfiltered is about freedom. It's freedom from pretending, from exhausting ourselves to meet expectations, and from missing out on genuine connections. With discernment, we step into our unfiltered living. We inspire others to do the same, creating a world that values who we are over who we pretend to be. So let's go out there and be bold and be real.
Be unfiltered, fannies! Be unfiltered!
I also have to stress how important it is to be silly. Be frivolous that serves no other purpose than just making you happy.
Yeah, that's what I think that's a great idea.
Thank you for tuning into Jar of Marbles podcast, and we continue to have more discussions on building the life of meaning and with personal development always at the core of it all.
It's time to go, isn't it?
Well, yeah, Bob, time to fly.
Do we have to?
We do, Bob, but we'll be back next week. So give the earwig a handshake, and we'll see you next time, okay?
Okay then.
All right then. Bye.
Bye!